Arvin is one step closer to imposing new regulations on oil and gas production in the city limits. This all comes after Mayor Jose Gurrola visited the state capitol to talk about an idea of eliminating oil and gas altogether. 23 ABC's Alyssa Flores has more on these stricter rules.
The city of Arvin one step closer to putting into place stricter regulations on the oil and gas code that hasn't been updated since the 1960s. It was a packed room Tuesday night as oil industry workers turned up in opposition, arguing for jobs. Meanwhile, community members showed up insisting the new rules would protect their health.
If you're an operator outside of the city of Arvin, abide by Kern County's rules. If you're going to want to move into Arvin or expand in Arvin, you got to abide by our rules.
Among those proposed rules, new oil operations need to stay 300 feet away from populated places like residential zones and schools. Operators would be required to reduce environmental impacts with noise barriers and by monitoring odors and waste. However, the 10 oil wells that are currently in Arvin are grandfathered into the current oil and gas code. New regulations would apply to new operators.
Adding even more regulation is troubling from an elected official in Arvin who has stated he wants to ban the industry. This is Kern County's history, heritage, lifeblood. We do not want to see that happen. It would be a disaster.
City staff insisting the regulations are not a ban on the industry, but the confusion perhaps coming after Mayor Jose Gurrola visited Sacramento last week, advocating for the eventual end of oil and gas production in California.
Phasing out and transitioning to 100% renewable energy, phasing out the oil sector.
40,000 jobs on the line when he makes that kind of rhetoric. That's a lot of people's livelihood.
Mayor Jose Gurrola saying for him, the push for an eventual statewide ban stems from the 2014 toxic gas leak in Arvin that forced 8 families out of their homes. He says for now, regulations within city limits will help protect residents from a similar incident.
There's all kinds of regulations. Trust me, I know there's all kinds of regulations on the oil industry, but there's loopholes. And the gas leak in Arvin was one of those unfortunate incidents that fell between the regulatory gap.
I'm Alyssa Flores for 23 ABC News.
And there will be one more vote set to take place at the next council meeting July 18th before that ordinance could become official.